Thank you so much for listening to Urbanistica Podcast. I am Mustafa Sharif, an urban planner, and you're more than welcome to join my big journey of exploring the making of smarter and more livable cities. Please don't forget to follow Urbanistica on the different social media platforms, and also let's connect on LinkedIn. Big thanks to Urbanistica podcast partner, AFRI. AFRI is an international engineering and design company providing sustainable solutions in the fields of energy, industry, and infrastructure. Are you ready for a new episode? Let's go for it. So hello and warm welcome on to Urbanistica Podcast.
Thank you so much, Mustafa Sharif, for having me here.
Yeah.
It's great.
I'm so happy to see you again.
Me too. Great to see you again.
Yeah.
It's been a long time now.
Exactly. And we have so many interesting things to talk about. Hackathon, a book, the coming events, and like your background and how you started all of this. So I'm really looking forward to, unlock the story behind the Hack for Earth.
So am I.
Yeah?
Yes, definitely.
Awesome.
Exciting.
And a highlight for our listeners, the way we met is when I think 2019, you were in the jury of hackathon related to future cities.
Yes.
And I did the competition and I won the competition as well. And that's how we met. And I told you, I love working with hackathons. It's so like a great concept that we can find a solution in a short amount of time and then we can implement it as well later on. And you told me, no, we don't have like a project, but maybe I give you a call later. And that's how we started collaborating, and we're going to talk more about it. But the start was about the hackathon, the competition about how do we create future cities. Do you remember?
Oh, yes, I did. This was in a small town of Sweden called Södertälje. And it was a hackathon specifically on how to innovate for the city.
Yeah.
So the city of Södertälje had invited the citizens of the town to collaborate and create ideas. And really, cities is such a great focus for a hackathon because everybody can relate to it.
Yeah.
Because who hasn't lived in a city or have a relationship to the city? And that's the foundation of citizen-driven innovation that I work with, is having the citizens join. And sometimes people don't know what a hackathon is, how does it work, but everybody knows a city. So
exactly.
Hackathon for a City was a great setup, and it was great when we met there the first time. And I remember you were in one of the teams, and you came up to me after the hackathon, and I was a jury member, and you said, do you have any idea? Could we work together?
Yeah.
I think this would be a great way to collaborate with you. And I said, yeah, sure. But then, as I said, we didn't start working together directly, but I remembered you, and I liked your dedication to both the work we were doing during the hackathon, and just the fact that you came up to me and said, hey, I'd like to do something more with hackathons. How can we do that? So
it's because I work as an urban planner and with cities, and usually we sit in our offices and studios and say, but maybe the city need this kind of solution, or that place need that kind of solution. And when I did the hackathon, it was based on how citizens experience the city, and they know best about the challenges and also the solution that might help to solve the challenges. Exactly. So when we did this methodology, I was like, this is crazy. Why we don't work with this in our studio? Exactly. And that's why I got this energy. No, we have to work now together.
Yeah.
It was fun.
So I had you in the back of my head, and then I think I told you before, but I really like to hire people based on attitude and possibilities to engage, and not on their CVs. And that has been very successful for me. So when I was launching the hackathon Hack for Earth at the World Exhibition Expo 2020 in Dubai, I was thinking, who do I know in my network who has a great attitude and are willing to do something more and to excel within their field? And of course, I thought of Mustafa.
So happy. I'm so happy.
And,
yeah. A new world just opened to me. Like when you gave me that phone call, I'm so still grateful for that. Then how about getting into this hackathon world and so on, so our listeners get familiar with it?
Yes.
Can you tell us what is a hackathon?
Yes. It's really easy, actually. A hackathon is a competition in innovation. Mm-hmm. So usually it's quite short, like a few hours, up to 48 to 72 hours, something like that.
Yeah.
And you compete in teams, and you try to solve challenges that are predefined before the hackathon starts. You have a set of challenges, and it can be anything. It can be related to cities, but of course we could do a hackathon in the studio. How do we make the studio even better? And we take the staff and you and me and everybody who works here, and we dedicate a few hours to that and work in teams on creating the best solutions to the challenges that we see. And then what's important and what's unique about what we do at Hack for Earth is that we take the solutions and make them a reality in our acceleration program, Build for Earth. So, because that's one of the things that I noticed after a hackathon is I would say, a better form of a workshop. And we've all been to that workshop that didn't result. That was a great workshop, but afterwards, nothing happened to the solutions. They're like, hey, what happened to the solutions? Oh, well, we...
well, it's in the document somewhere in the SharePoint.
Exactly, it's in SharePoint, in some document. And you don't want that to happen if you put in work and you've taken of people's time and dedication and their innovativeness. And then you really want to make sure that the solutions that are created are given the best possibilities to become a reality. So
exactly. And I love to explore more like how, because you tweaked the hackathon idea and concept, and as you mentioned, like with acceleration program, we're gonna explore this more. But as a hackathon, it is like a competition in a short amount of time to find a solution for a challenge. And usually, as you mentioned, the challenges are already preset of whom? Like organizer?
Yes, sometimes it's done by the organizers who have an idea of what kind of solutions they would like to see to what challenges. But I find that the best challenges and the best hackathons are where the challenges are co-created with the people who are then in the hackathon itself. So that also, I think, is a good way to prepare hackathon participants for the hackathon experience in joining. Okay, what these are, you can, and sometimes it's good to set the stage. These are the challenge categories. Like
traffic, sustainable buildings, and so on, transportation,
or waste in the town. How are we going to manage that in the city?
Like a topic.
Yes, a topic. And then you co-create, you can give input to what kind of concrete challenges are in these topics, these challenge categories. And like a challenge is often shaped like a question. So, and that really is the tricky part, creating these challenges, because it's like, I don't know if you've heard this expression, but the way you ask is the way you will get an answer.
Yes.
So how you shape the question will determine to a large extent the result, the answer. And it's the same with a hackathon. The challenges, how they are shaped and formulated, will determine to a large extent
like the output.
The output. So that's important, that you create challenges that have the depth enough and are wide enough, but also sharp enough to create solutions that can create real impact. Because if they're too wide,
then like the solution will not be so like niche. Then
it will be too wide, and it will be difficult for the participating teams to create. And if it's too narrow, you will not create the necessary arena for creativity. So that is really the tricky part. But really, you just have to think, what if I were a participant in this hackathon?
Yeah.
How would I want this challenge to be shaped in order to create a good arena for creativity and great work, actually.
But when you say a hackathon,
yes,
it sounds like it's something like techie, like for tech people, not for people with other disciplines.
Yes, and actually that is the history of the hackathon. So hackathons were born within the tech industry in the beginning of the 20th century. There's debate on where the very first hackathon took place. I'm not going to mention anything, but it's in the very early years of the 21st century. The first one took place, and that was within tech companies, big tech companies. And then you gathered your tech people, like developers and other very techie competence people, and you created solutions based on data. So the solutions were always in these traditional hackathons, very tech-based. And the very first hackathon I participated in was also very techy, and that I also, when I first saw this hackathon concept, I just fell in love with the structure and the tool, and I realized this tool just has such amazing possibilities that we could use to create solutions, not just tech solutions, but solutions for a better world, for a better society. That we could invite different, all kinds of people to join, not just tech people. And I thought also that would give it the diversity of the teams would give the hackathons solutions bigger innovation height, so to speak.
Yeah.
So
it's like, how to say, it's if we open it up, it's more inclusive. Then we have people from different disciplines. Then the solution is more diverse also. Like, imagine if we are all from this school or from this background. There we don't have so much knowledge about the other disciplines. Then our solution is not like perfect enough to make an impact.
Yes, and I think you experienced this too when you were in the hackathon in Södertälje for cities, right?
Yeah, in that hackathon, I was like, I think the only architect there in my team, and there was a person from marketing, one from also programming, and one, I don't remember, but something not related to anything I heard about. I think it was with fashion design, something like this. And when we talk, so I talk from my perspective, this person from their perspectives. So the solution was so unique and rich in its approach. And that's the big difference between like this team and other team, like who only like architects or I don't know, programmers.
Yeah, so it really depends on what you want to create, for what kind of solution and what you're trying to accomplish. But really, you still remember.
Yeah,
I think that, and this is many years ago. So that's why I saw the potential of the hackathon concept to also bring together people, as you say, from different disciplines and create relationships and create also experiences within these people that they can take into another context after the hackathon itself, and they will also learn something else. And meet people they would not normally be in touch with.
Exactly, sitting on the same table with people from different disciplines. Like, so amazing. It's also like helped me a lot to understanding like how to work together with people that I don't speak the same language. I mean like proficient, not in English or so. Because like here where I work now, also like many different disciplines.
Yes.
And in order to deliver something with high quality, we need to collaborate.
Exactly.
And this is like hackathon all about also.
Yes.
Like how we in a short amount of time can communicate and put together our ideas to deliver something like powerful.
Yes.
So you fall in love with the hackathon.
Yes, I did.
And then what happened? Like how you started your journey? Because we're going to also dig deep in your background in psychology.
Yes.
This is like a cliffhanger for the listener.
Yes. Can I just say something about the hackathon concept first before we dive into that? Because like you could argue that any kind of workshop or just conference would create the same effect, like people connecting and talking to each other. But what is unique, I have found, with the hackathon tool or concept is that you actually solve a problem together.
Yeah.
And what happens when you try to solve a problem together is that you create a whole different level of trust, deeper level of trust, and you have to get to know each other on a completely different level. So if we were given the task of rebuilding this table, for instance, we would definitely have to get to know each other because we would have to trust each other on a different level than just sitting here talking. Now we haven't created so many hackathons together, so we already know each other. But if we didn't, just to make an example. So that's why the hackathon tool works, and the time pressure also adds to that. Okay, we're on a deadline. We have to do this together. And that really creates a perfect arena for creating interesting solutions, but also relationships that you can use afterwards.
Stronger relationships also create like strong solution.
Exactly.
From what I experience, at least, like when the team is strong and can communicate and trust in each other, so the solution will be also like this, strong, trustful, and so on.
Exactly. So Now to the question. Sorry, you were saying. Can you repeat it? I'm a terrible podcast guest. I'm not following orders.
A great hackathon organizer.
But that's kind of me. I'm not following orders all the time.
The question was about how you started your hackathon journey.
Yeah.
Because you are a psychologist.
Yes. Yes. This really, if somebody would have told me when I started studying to become a psychologist that I, so many years later, would write a book about hackathons and work in this area, I wouldn't have believed them, of course. So yes, I'm a licensed psychologist, and I've been working within clinical psychiatry for 10 years.
Wow.
With patients and psychotherapy and also personality assessments and things like that. So I've had the privilege of listening and supporting a lot of people during the years, over the years, in finding solutions to their difficulties and challenges. So that was, I loved working as a psychologist, but I also felt that I wanted to do more, to evolve and to become, to use my talents in a different setting.
Yeah.
So that's really the reason I think I ended up here. I started working after these 10 years within clinical psychiatry. I started working for the Swedish government employment agency. And there, as a psychologist, I was working at the head office and actually was in charge of many different things, doing, what do you call them, psychological assessments of people who were looking for a new type of job. You couldn't continue working in that line of work and you tried to do something else.
Yeah.
Found that also extremely rewarding, and it really, working for the employment agency, open up the world of like society and how all of it is connected for me. That was very good. But I was always looking for new arenas to do new stuff, and I was actually at back in 2017 there was a hackathon workshop at the headquarters of the government initiative of employment in Stockholm. And that was my very first taste of a small hackathon workshop organized by a small department called Digital Innovation Department.
Yeah.
And I was, this is just heaven, because the feel of the hackathon and different people mixing and like a very positive feel to the entire hackathon.
Also the energy.
Yes, and the energy definitely I was smitten by. So I took a chance, and that was, of course, before I've done all of this. So this was really scary, really scary. I booked a lunch with the head of this department.
Yeah.
And I mustered all my courage, and I said, I would like to work here. And I was just praying he wouldn't laugh at me, because I have to understand, I was a psychologist working at a government agency.
It's completely different and far away from this.
What would I do at digital innovation department?
Yeah, right.
There's no connection at all.
No.
And I thought, well, if he laughs at me, I never have to meet him again. I'll go somewhere else. But that was scary. But he didn't laugh at me.
That's good.
Thank God. And so he just said, oh, interesting. You're a psychologist and you want to work here. What can you do? It's like, anything. I'll do anything. So that was a start, actually, of my work as head project manager for Hack for Sweden. And Hack for Sweden was government initiative that was at the time with the government agency of employment in Sweden. So this was really, I was working for the government offices, you could say, with this yearly hackathon called Hack for Sweden for a couple of years. And that was just opening the door to heaven, really. And you can just imagine being a government employee. I was very, of course, used to that, very much rules, and you cannot do this and like this. And this was you go create something great. I'm like, okay. So it was extremely rewarding and a lot of fun. And we met at that time.
Yes.
So, but that really, there was one thing that I thought was an issue, and that was that at these Hack for Sweden hackathons, there was no acceleration program afterwards.
Okay.
And I couldn't seem to convince the government offices. I don't know why. I should have been able to do that.
Tell us what is an acceleration program?
Oh, yes. Acceleration program is after the hackathon, you have these great solutions that people have created.
The idea and solutions.
Yes. A solution that you need to take further to make it come to life in some kind of way.
Yeah.
And there was no, and to do that, you need some kind of program support for a couple of months. And that can be everything from business planning to storytelling to they have to learn to build a website maybe, or connect with a partner organization where they can build the solution and make it come to life either as a startup or in collaboration with this organization who hosts this solution.
Yeah.
But this is
so there was not an acceleration program that take the ideas and solution and make it a reality. Okay.
So just a yearly hackathon, and as many hackathons, they're given prize money at the end.
Yeah.
And money is great. And sometimes we tend to think that money is all you need. But really, I would say, of course, you need money is a facilitator and prize money is a facilitator. But you need so much more. You need to know what to do with the money to spend it in the right way.
Yeah.
And if you don't do that, you will waste just money
disappear
on the wrong things. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why an acceleration program is so important.
Yeah.
And but I couldn't seem to convince the Swedish government offices to
so you
give me resources.
You convinced them to work with the hackathon.
Yes, I did.
But then you
but
didn't work.
Yes. And then after a while, you have to decide if there's something at your workplace that you are not comfortable with.
Yeah.
Either, and you keep complaining about this, or either you have to just okay, this is accept it.
Yeah.
And put it to rest and move on. Or you have to do something about it.
Yeah.
And in my case, I couldn't leave this. This was just too good to pass up on, and I thought it was so important. So that's why I quit my employment with the government or the government agency, and after 20 years, and started the Hack for Earth Foundation in 2021. So I could create this acceleration program, do my own hackathons and with the people I wanted.
So this is the reason how you started Hack for Earth Foundation to work, how to say, or to take hackathon concept to the next level.
Exactly. Yeah. To take hackathons and both create global hackathons that people with engagement and dedication to do some good for the world and could join, but also to make the solutions come to life in an acceleration program worth the name. So that's why. That's the reason.
And also this is where we start to collaborate.
Exactly. That's when I called you.
Yeah, exactly. When you created the Hack for Earth Foundation, you gave me a call.
Yes.
And you asked if I would love to join the journey and organizing a hackathon together with you. And of course I said yes. It will be very stupid.
Was that stupid?
No, it will be very stupid if I say no.
I was afraid. I was like, why did I do that? I'm like, okay, now you tell me. One of my worst decisions.
After 4 years, huh?
Yes.
No, after I wrote a book with you.
Yes, exactly. After writing the book.
I was waiting for the moment to write a book with you. Then I say, oh, this was stupid. I quit. No, but it was, I think it's one of course, the best thing that I did in my life and still doing with you. So in the Hack for Earth Foundation, there are hackathons.
Yes.
And also now there is a book as well.
Yes.
Let's start with the hackathon. Like we give an example to our listener. Walk us through like an entire hackathon that Hack for Earth organized. You can pick one of the many you organized.
So Hack for Earth Foundation does one flagship hackathon each year. And the mission of Hack for Earth Foundation is to create solutions to the 17 Sustainable Development Goals set by the United Nations. Because that is what we need to do to create a better future. And I really believe that all of us on this planet need to be part of creating a sustainable future, because there is not a future, and we can't leave it up to the CEOs of the big companies and the prime ministers and world leaders. It's great that they are doing what they can, but obviously they're not doing enough. We can both.
We can see the result in numbers.
Yes,
we're not accelerating enough.
And Agenda 2030, it's obvious we're not close reaching it, and really lagging behind. So action is needed, and so many more people are needed to do this. So that's why we do one flagship hackathon each year and connect it to one of the big events connected to climate or the global goals. So the first one we did was at the World Exhibition Expo 2020 in Dubai, and then we did Hack for Earth at the COP 27. And the COP events are the big high-level climate conferences organized by the United Nations. There is one each year. This year it's COP 29. It stands for Cooperation of the Parties.
Yes, that's very great that you mentioned it.
Yes, because I wondered in the beginning.
Like what is COP?
What is COP? Anyway, so this last year we did Hack for Earth at the COP 28, and the COP 28 it travels from country to country. So the United Nations decide what country it should be in next. Host this event, this high-level event, where all of the leaders of the 192 member countries come together to talk about what are we going to do about the climate and the related issues to that. So it's really big events, and a lot of other organizations also come there. Us too, of course. So for that hackathon, it's these online hackathon, as I said, they're completely virtual. So you can join from any country in the world, and you join with the competence that you have. All you need is a dedication to do something good for a sustainable future, and then you have to tell us what kind of competence or perspective you're bringing to the table. A lot of techie people, of course, join our hackathons, and that's great. But anyone with competence in other areas that are needed to create these solutions, if it's the climate crisis, if you're an architect, or you're like a nurse, or you're a doctor, or you're like anything you can join. And so it's the diversity, that's the thing. And if you don't have to have a team, we help all the people who sign up for our hackathons to create a team if you don't have a team. But it's all about diversity. So we really encourage that there's diversity in the team. But then you work together in the team during the hackathon, and we have, since it's online, we are really adamant about creating an experience for all the people who join, and this is the part that you're involved with.
Yeah, exactly.
So this is your area of expertise. So really, because we're asking on people's time, we really think it's just because we're doing very important things, creating solutions to the SDGs. It doesn't have to be boring. You can have fun at the same time.
Very, really, like, how to say, a lot of knowledge that you gain during these hours of hackathon. It's not about you give, but as well, like, you take back as a knowledge, connections, network, and so on. And there's something that is different in Hack for Earth Foundation, and it is based on citizen-driven solutions. Why this approach? Because you mentioned, like, world leaders, CEOs, and so on, they are doing their job, but your approach is not about them. It's about citizens as well. Why?
This is the reason I get up in the morning, to be honest. I truly believe from the bottom of my heart that we all need to be involved in creating a sustainable future. There is no other future than a sustainable future. And we all have to be committed to making that a reality. We cannot leave it up to the world leaders and the CEOs and the all of the other people in charge of the countries and the big organizations. If we are to meet the challenges that we stand in front of, which are huge, and it's not looking very good, we can all agree on that. We're destroying this planet, and it's looking kind of dark. But I think, or actually, I really believe that if we work together and that all citizens across the world do what they can to collaborate and bring about real solutions, we can make this happen. There is a future, definitely. But we really have to pitch in. And this is my contribution to that. Of course, there's so many other things you can do to create a sustainable future. But this is one way you can participate, meet others from other countries and who are working also for a sustainable future, and exchange ideas and views and understand that you're part of a bigger picture, and that the world is so much bigger than really where you are, and that those experiences are as important as the solutions themselves. So I would say for the Hack for Earth Foundation, and for me personally as well, the mission is twofold: both connecting people and making them see that they're part of a bigger picture, and that what they have to bring to the table, their perspective, is important and can have an impact. That, and creating this movement that we're doing, but also the solutions themselves, because it's important that the solutions that come out of Hack for Earth hackathons are implemented and made a reality, and several of them are on the market today, and that makes me very happy.
That's awesome to hear, because we go back to our point, like the one we talked about in the beginning.
Yes.
That, of course, as experts, let's say large companies and governments and so on, of course, this is our responsibility to make this happen, like to achieve the SDGs and so on. But we might miss a lot of things that we don't see on the ground. And here comes the people, like the communities, where they contribute with their knowledge, that together, combining together with what we do to find the solution, or to accelerate the transition.
Exactly. I think to involve the citizens is in a way, and if you're creating a hackathon for cities, for instance, like, of course you have to have the users, the people living in the cities.
Exactly.
Or using what you're trying to create, or that is so important to involve them, and I think the solutions will be better.
Also, we can scale it up as well.
Yes.
When people understand and they are part of it, then we can easily scale it up, so we can achieve our goals. And
you go. And there's another point I think is so important too, that if you show that you believe in people and that you listen to their perspective, and that what they have to say is important, I think a lot of people, a lot of the time, will rise to the occasion. Like if you're given responsibility and I say that I believe in you and I think what you have to say is important, and I need your perspective on this, you will take responsibility and do things that you may not have done before.
That's true.
I truly believe in that.
And that's right. It's also working. Like it's the same as a manager or as a friend or as a colleague.
Parent.
Parent.
To be honest. No, but really.
Like if you like say what you feel and really believe in it, it's not like you say it as a words, but you really truly believe in it and you give a space for it. Then the other person will receive it and work on it.
But you will not take responsibility if you're not given any. If I don't show that I believe in you.
Exactly.
Why should you try? You can continue acting like a child.
Exactly.
No, but really, if you treat people like children,
then they will
continue doing that.
Exactly.
We don't believe in you. You have to, if there's a manager with a lot of control issues, people will not rise to the occasion because they're not given the opportunity.
No.
So I really believe in that. And also that's another thing that we're gliding off the topic here, but find the manager that believe that you can do things that you may not believe in that you can do yourself. That's what I did. And look where it got me.
Exactly.
Because I didn't think I was going to be able to do this, but I had a boss who believed I could do anything.
Yeah, that's awesome.
No, so that's If we do that, all of us believe in each other, I think there's nothing we can do. Yes.
When we might achieve,
we solved the SDGs today.
Because like we bring the best in people, and then together we can do something big. And in Hack for Earth, you work on a concept like dream, hack, build.
Yes.
Can you tell us what is this about?
Yes, this is actually the topic of the book. The Dream, Hack, Build. And this, I'm so excited about this because this concept, this method of working, we created as a team. And we crafted it from our experiences and from doing the hackathons that we did. So from making mistakes, of course, and realizing, okay, maybe we should do it this way instead. And also for trying new things. Okay, this worked. This seemed to be a good way of organizing hackathons. So basically, the Dream, Hack, Build, it starts with the dream phase. And the dream phase is where we create the challenges.
Okay.
And as I said previously, I really believe in inviting the audience to be part of creating the challenges. So you can do that in a big way with a Dream for Earth campaign that we did for the hackathon at the World Exhibition in Dubai, Expo 2020. And that's there you invite all the world to create or share their dreams of the future connected to the SDGs. And then we harnessed all these dreams and analyzed them with an AI tool to see what people are dreaming about all around the world. And then we invited our partner organizations to create concrete challenges.
Who are partner organizations? Who are they?
Oh, yes, that's also another important part of, because since we're all about cooperation and collaboration, we truly believe in inviting partner organizations of all kinds to join us for our hackathons. It's not only citizens that need to collaborate. The organizations need to do that too. So for our big flagship hackathons, we always have partners, big corporations, government entities, UN entities, along with smaller entities like hacker communities around the world and universities and so forth. And what's in it for them is that they get to collaborate with each other and learn to know each other, but also connect with this vast amount of people around the world who are working in the teams. Like in our last hackathon, we had participants from 112 countries.
Yeah, amazing.
And usually it's around that number. I think for the COP27 hackathon, we had participants from 125 countries. And I think 1,800 teams that year.
That's crazy.
And so there's a lot of youth and joining, but also people of other ages. And what's in it for the partner organizations is to connect with these really dedicated community who might be a very good customer base for them.
So so this is like here we have Hack for Earth Foundation.
Yes.
And you're like starting a hackathon first by Dream.
Yes.
And where you collect people's opinions and dream to analyze what are they dreaming, what are the topic by AI also. And then you invite partners who love to be in this journey and support you as a hackathon organization.
Yes.
With challenges, with material, with network, right?
Yeah.
So they are like part of it as well.
Exactly. And sometimes if because our solutions can be based on data and they can be tech solutions, and in that case partners can provide APIs or data sets but also statistics and research.
Yeah.
And sometimes the solutions are something completely different, like a new type of plastic made out of seaweed, and not all tech based.
Yeah.
So they can be different things, but that is also something the partners provide. And also they are usually part of the jury as jury members, and also provide mentors, which is another thing that you are involved in as well, because you're usually in touch with a lot of mentors and supporting them during our hackathons. So that's what the partners do. And then
this is phase one.
Yes, this is phase one, the dream, collecting the challenges and creating them. And it's really a very good way of engaging with both partner organizations and the participants in the hackathon, making them feel that they're involved and creating engagement with them. Because if you're involved in creating the challenges, your interest in all it is heightened, I would say.
You also feel the ownership of this.
Exactly.
So you are part of it and you will take care of it, not like leave it and then say, okay, it's not my business. No, but when you were in it in the beginning and co-creating it, so it becomes like your baby. You're part of it. And can you give us like an example of challenges that, let's say we have the topics from people and organization, and then how does it lead to a solid challenge? Can you give us an example of what is the challenge can be?
So for our hackathons, there's usually, as I said, challenge categories.
Yeah.
And those they have to have some connection, of course, to the Sustainable Development Goals. So usually it's like, it can be water. We had for our last hackathon at the COP28, sustainable cities.
Yeah.
And there's agriculture. It can be energy. Yes. Categories like this.
Yeah.
And within these categories, you need concrete challenges that are shaped like questions. And that is something we do in contact with, in collaboration with our partner organizations, and based on the input we get from the dream campaigns. Like, what is it within the energy sector or sustainable societies that people that resonate with people? What is it that they think is important? What is the most important? What is it that people are mentioning? This topic, maybe it's waste, and how do we handle waste in the cities, or if it's sustainable buildings, how do we create more sustainable buildings, or traffic? It's like, what is it that resonates with people? Because then people also will be more engaged in the hackathon itself.
Yeah, because it's part of their reality.
Exactly.
Instead of coming with a super abstract challenge that they cannot really relate, then with their help and the help of the partner organization as a professionals, then forming like this concrete challenge.
So an example, for instance, stands for hackathon on sustainable societies would be, how do we handle waste within the city in a more efficient way, that more sustainable, efficient way. It's kind of a wide one, but still quite concrete, I would say. And that would then there's also, of course, jury criteria that you have to meet. What is it that you're turning in at the end of the hackathon? Like, what does it have to be based on? Do you have to use data? We usually don't say that you have to, but it has to be like, it can be a concept. We think that to handle waste in the city, it's important for these organizations to collaborate more. And we think there's a solution of doing this in a more efficient way that would save the environment and the city if we did it like this. So that can be, but of course, not everything has to be done at the end of the hackathon. That's for the acceleration program afterwards.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
So first part, this is the dream.
Yes.
Where you've, set the frame of the hackathon.
Exactly.
Collecting data, dreams. Engaging the audience and creating these topics and challenges.
Yeah.
Then the hackathon, right? This is the next phase of dream, hack, build. Now we are in the hacking part.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then the entire idea of the hackathon is also the time pressure. So it's important that the hackathon is not too long, because if it's like a few hours up to a few days, or like over a weekend that we usually do a hackathon, we start Friday afternoon and then we conclude Sunday evening.
Yeah.
This is both good for the team formation and the work in the teams, because you feel that there's a time pressure and there's a deadline and we have to get ready.
Yeah.
And the time that you assign to do this is also reasonable. And I really think that's one important aspect. And also the afterwards, the feeling that a lot of the teams get is that, wow, we actually created something to a really difficult challenge, which usually are the ones that are connected to societies or cities or the sustainable development goals. It's big challenges that we usually feel daunted by. Oh, how are we going to do this? It's going to take years, and this agenda 2030, and we're not even making that happen.
Or we don't understand what does it mean.
Exactly. What is it? It's too big. It feels impossible to take on. And then the feeling that you get as a team when you actually create something that addresses this in a matter of hours or days, that is a very good start of making the solution then come to life, and also going out there in the world and bringing with you the experience of the hackathon. So that's also another effect I think is very good for the hackathon. Yeah. And during the hackathon, there's all kinds of fun stuff that's you're usually in charge of.
I love to hear it.
This is yours.
Yeah, I love to hear it. I love to hear it from you.
From me.
Yeah. You're my guest. Huh? Tell us, give us an example of a hackathon. Like, how does it start? What's happening during these hours? And so on, like a kind of the program.
Okay, so we always start with an opening ceremony.
Yeah.
And that is live streamed.
Yeah.
And that the opening ceremony is for two reasons. And they're equally important. And it's to set the tone and to get people engaged. This is going to be fun, and get them going, and the feeling that create a good energy, good vibe, and also to make people understand and that there's people all over the world doing this at the same time together with you.
Yeah,
that is an important feeling to bring. And the second reason is to give the information you need to actually hack. So there's a lot of very important information that we provide the hackathon teams there. Like, how do you manage the communication channels? What is the deadline? What is it that you're gonna turn in? And what resources are there during the hackathon to help and support you in creating the solution? So, like, it's both having fun and creating a great vibe, but also very important information. So it starts with that.
Exactly.
And then the hacking starts. And then we have a great community manager.
Thank you so much.
I think he's named Mustafa. Yeah. You should meet him sometimes.
I know him.
He's really, really good at creating a great vibe. One of a kind, really.
Yeah. Actually, it's when, how to say, before the start, we open the application and we say, like, you cannot be alone as a single player, because it's about collaboration from different disciplines. And then we open up, and some people, they don't have a team. So that we do this meet and match when we do like a call in different time zones, so people can talk with each other and create teams. And then they apply as a participant. Like,
this is before the hackathon even starts.
This is before the opening ceremony. And then parallel with that, we have the application for mentors. And these are people who are going to coach our participants and guide them and give them like inspiration. And mentors could be anyone, like from partner organization, but also from people who are passionate to help, like to solve the challenges. And then we kick off opening ceremony, and then we have Anne with her beautiful dress standing and welcoming us.
I think we have Mustafa in his colorful suit as well, and also the rest of the team is there. We have our hackathon manager, Love Dager, is also there, and explaining about the hackathon platforms and so forth, and how the actual hacking is done. And sometimes we have other team members with us as well, explaining things, how it's done. And then hackathon starts.
Hackathon start. They are working like on their own channels, like if they like to work on Zoom or they are in the one place. It's totally up to them. Like, do what makes you happy. And we have the criteria. We have the mentors. Also, we have workshops, lectures, and like useful resources so they can inspire them. And then they submit their solution in a digital platform. Love Dager, our fantastic hackathon manager, is managing that and helping them with in case they have a question. So they submit their solutions
at the end of the hackathon.
At the end of the hackathon and to the different categories, because each team competing in one category.
You have to choose a challenge category and a challenge.
And the submission is a pitch, right?
We usually do it like you submit a 2-minute video of what your solution is addressing. What challenge are you solving? What is the solution about? And what will you need in order to make this happen? Kind of like very short, 2 minutes. But again, it's an art form to articulate what you mean in a very short period of time. And when you are creating a new solution and meeting potential partner organizations, you really need to be good at that. So that's why we're forcing them
to learn
to learn that already when they're posting their or turning in their solution. And there's another reason as well, because there's a limited amount of time that the jury members have to go through all of these solutions. And they don't, if we had like 10 minutes for each,
then
the jury members would grow old before
the agenda that we are like reaching 2030 and we still like listening to the so it's also like like an art of storytelling, like how you put together clear words to explain what you want to change and how you scale it up and so on. And it's not easy, to be honest.
It's definitely a challenge that we have noticed. And sometimes the teams have contacted us and said that, we recorded a 3 minute or 4 minutes. Is it okay? And we're like, no, sorry. You have to do 2 minutes because and out of respect for the jury, mainly, I would say, because usually we have like 200 jury members or something like that. And they have to watch several of these solutions. So the judgment, or what do you call it, is the correct. The process is is good, and they have to keep in mind the jury criteria. And this takes time, and we have to be mindful of their time and give all teams the same
like equal opportunity as well.
Equal opportunity, exactly. So that's why. So it may sound a bit harsh, but I think the teams appreciate it in the end.
I think not only for hackathon, like this is technique of storytelling not only useful for hackathon, but also like in the real life. If you work or in a relationship or anywhere, like if maybe you have the best idea or something you think about, but if you cannot share it with the world or with the person in front of you, how are they going to understand what you want? Maybe you have like the perfect solution to every single problem or to this problem, But if you cannot tell it or share it with me, how will I understand and invest in it?
Exactly.
So I find this is something like also during, because before I become a community manager, I was participating in many hackathons. And I before also I couldn't really tell what I'm thinking about. But with the hackathon, I learned, okay, I can put together words so it's clear for the person in front of me to understand me. And that's how it's helped me a lot. Like even now when I work with friends, with the family, to explain. So it's necessary, like this communication.
Actually,
skill.
To share a little bit of a personal story. This is something I brought with me into Hack for Earth after experiencing that people stopped listening to me. When I worked with Hack for Sweden, and we were at this big event. It's kind of like the Davos or the World Economic Forum for Sweden, called Almedalen.
Yeah.
And I was there in 2019 or 2018, I remember, talking about Hack for Sweden. And people, when you meet people at a conference or wherever,
excited,
what is it that you do?
Yeah.
And then I started talking, and I noticed that I took too long. People stopped listening to me. Okay, so I had to find a way to catch their attention really fast. And this is equally important, even more important today with social media and everything. You have to be really fast to catch people's attention. So that is also something we teach our teams during the Build for Earth acceleration program, to have a 1 or 2 sentence maximum short pitch.
Explain.
Like, why are you relevant? Why should I continue listening to you? And what is the sense of urgency? Basically, and this is not an easy thing.
No,
but
it's difficult.
and also it's important that if you have a team, all team members have this 1 or 2 sentence, so you say the same thing. But really, that's the way I have to get better at this. And I think that's then I realized this is probably something that we need to incorporate in both Hack for Earth, the hackathons, and also to teach them in the acceleration program. Because as you said, it's an important skill for all parts of life.
Exactly. It doesn't matter. It's not only for the 1 or 2 days of hackathon, but it's like for everyday life. And
interviews.
Exactly.
Relationships. Whatever.
And it's also what we want to deliver as a Hack for Earth hackathons, like this experience that you're here to learn as well. Like with the mentors, with the workshop, it's not that you only give data and what you have and that's it. No, but you also will get back as a learning, a lot of knowledge, a lot of connections, a lot of new tools, resources. So this is like also, it's not because I work as a community manager, but I find it unique. That's why I love to work with the Hack for Earth, is that we give back, not only take as a solution, but no, what you as a participant, you get back also a lot of things, which create an experience.
And this, I would say, is not only for the participants. This, what you mentioned now, that you learn something that you can use, that is actually quite a common feedback that we get from our hackathon participants, that they learned skills that they can use in other parts of life, in work, studying, that have enhanced their possibilities in their career, that they've learned at the hackathon, like storytelling and other things, and teamwork. And learned about other things. So, but also for the mentors, maybe you should mention that, because you're also
I'm also like in charge of taking care of mentors,
and you teach them how to be a good mentor before they go into this experience. So, because that's also a skill. So it's also a learning experience, and something that we give to the people who sign up to be mentors, that they learn something and they take something with them that they can, not just taking their
it's also like an art of coaching and inspiring, instead of like giving a solution. Because it's important that as a mentor, you don't give a solution, because it's the mission of the participant.
Exactly.
As a mentor, you guide and lead and inspire, but not give a solution. If you want to give a solution, then you might be like, you should apply as a participant and work in the team. But also like, I think we experience it a lot when we have people with a great experience, and when they do the coaching, they bring the solution. Then in the end, the mentee, they don't get anything. like I don't develop or I don't learn how to solve a problem because I got the solution. So that's why it's important for us as a Hack for Earth. We walk through our mentors on how to coach, to lead, to inspire. So as a mentor, they learn like this craft of coaching, but also for a participant to understand, like, okay, the solution might be in this framework or related to this, or I can use this, and so on. So it's also like a good crash course on how to be a mentor.
Definitely. And that's also a lot of feedback that we get from the mentors, that they have enjoyed being a mentor, and that most of them actually like to continue supporting the winning teams in Build for Earth acceleration program. And I'm so grateful that there's so many people out there who want to share their knowledge, because there's no reward for them except for, like, they don't get paid for this mentorship opportunity. But we have mentors from all different kinds of experiences and professions. That's also quite unique with our hackathon, I think. So we have mentors who are great at pitch coaching or storytelling,
sustainability, economy. Like when we sort the mentors in the homepage, and people can see their profiles and expertise. And when I look at the different expertise, I was like, wow, like agriculture, marketing, communication, like mechanical engineering, like everything you wish.
Yes, there's a big diversity within the mentor community. And it's great to see that so many of them recur, that they come again next year. So we have this great, really, and that's also something, if there's somebody listening who would like to be a mentor, that would be great. Yes.
Yeah, maybe they... like there's a good community manager, so they like to be back.
I don't know. He's difficult, that Mustafa. Difficult to please, but we'll try to get him on board this year again. I'm hoping he will be there for Hack for Earth at the COP29 in Baku.
We are coming. Yes. we are coming there. So so and during these hours of the hackathon, so participant working on the solution, getting coaching from the mentors, and we are like arriving to the deadline. What is happening there?
Yes, and again, there's you are of course in charge of your team. There's a team leader who manages the work in the team. But as you said, there's so much offered within. We do live streams too on YouTube if there's answering questions. So every day we in the Hack for Earth team do that, and there's all kinds of workshops and lectures to take part of if you want to, but you manage your own work. But then, yes, there's the deadline, and that's an exciting time, because all the teams are getting, what is it now? A lot of them, at least. So exciting times. Usually it's a Sunday, and for us when we do our flagship hackathons, and then of course there's we want to support them as much as we can, and to have a clear structure of what is it that they're going to turn in, and how do you do that. So, and of course that puts a lot of pressure on the system too.
But it's then we have the closing ceremony.
So we have a closing ceremony, and that's more of a focus on just celebrating all of the people who have joined the hackathon, both the teams, and celebrating their work and their dedication and everything that they've done, and giving them gratitude for that, and also to give gratitude to our partner organizations and the mentors and for the work that they've done. And so that's really a great feeling in the closing ceremonies. And then also explaining what happens next.
Exactly.
So the jury work is what starts directly after the closing ceremony. And then there's a lot of work, this getting all the jury members to get started, and working on scoring the solutions according to the jury criteria. So that's what happens afterwards.
Exactly. And during the hackathon, we use a platform, like a digital platform. So because we have so many participants from so many different cities, different time zones, and so on. And the only way to meet is like on this digital platform. And there we have like a lot of fun because like we have different channels dedicated to different purposes.
Yes.
And my favorite one is this like community random post, like when people post memes, pictures, fun videos. And actually there, a lot of people connect with each other, like afterwards, after the hackathon finished, they still friends.
That's one of the best parts of the hackathon experience, even for us as organizers, that because when you do a virtual online hackathon, like we do our global hackathons, and this is just the way you need to do it if you want to gather people from all over the world and also be kind to nature and do it in a sustainable way. You can't gather thousands of people from 125 countries in another way. But then it also means that you have to work more on creating a very good community feeling that you're having fun and you're exchanging ideas and views and experiences. So that channel that I think you started is great, where people post memes and like also selfies. Sharing, hey, hello from Nigeria, hello from Canada, hello from Brazil, hey fun. From Australia, hello from Singapore, shout out from Dubai or whatever. So like this
it's like coming together,
that the world is actually coming together in one space to create these solutions. It's just it's a magical feeling.
It's really also like it's important to make them feel like home and then a community with a purpose, instead of like just I'm one person between like 1,800 people here, but instead like turning it to make it more like a friendly atmosphere, so people like feel safe, comfortable digitally, and then they can be themselves and contribute with their unique experience.
Can I share one of the challenges we overcame regarding exactly this thing? That was one of the most difficult times during Hack for Sweden. Actually, we did an online hackathon. The very first one we did was called Hack the Crisis Sweden, and this was during when the Corona pandemic had just hit Sweden. So it was in March 2020, and we launched this online hackathon, and we were expecting about like 700 or 800 people to join. Like this was a movement, so it had started in Estonia, and there were like Hack the Crisis Estonia, Hack the Crisis Finland, and so forth. Hack the Crisis Germany, and so when we came to Sweden, we were expecting kind of like that amount because it had been that in the other countries. And then I don't know what happened, but all of a sudden we had 7,500 people signing up in a matter of days. And we were like 5 people in the team, and we're like, okay, the DMs were like flooding in, and we realized, okay, we will not be able to answer all these questions coming in from these 7,500 participants. We have to do something. So then we said to them, wrote in the digital channel, hey, it's great that you're here, all of you, but if you see somebody who has a question in the channel and you know the answer, please reach out and answer that question, because there's 5 of us.
Limited resources.
Limited resources. And the most amazing, unexpected thing happened. This created a vibe in this hackathon that was like none other I've ever seen. Like everybody was trying to help each other, and okay, I know the answer to that, and yes, I can help you with this. So the communication really got started. So that is one of the things that's really important, creating this feeling of community. We're doing this together. We're in this together as a society, as a hackathon community, creating solutions to a very important challenge. And that hackathon was, of course, for the Corona crisis. So saving lives, saving communities, and saving businesses were the 3 challenge categories. But that's I remember I was like, oh, what are we going to do? How do we manage this? And then somebody in this brilliant team thought of this, but let them help each other.
Like a healthy competition.
So, but it was before we came to that idea, I was a bit stressed. Panicked. Yes, definitely. On the bordering of panic.
This crisis.
Yes, exactly. So
Yeah.
So you overcome
Exactly.
the things that are in your way with your team.
Yeah. And so in the end of the hackathon phase of like we talked about a dream, hack, and build.
Yes.
So the jury announced the winners.
Yes, in our prize ceremony.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you hand the prize, and there is a winner of each category, right?
Yes.
And they move further to the acceleration program, the build phase of Hack for Earth.
And the acceleration program is based on science and interviews with innovation leaders around the world. So our colleague, Dr. Christopher Bernmark, is specialist in organizational psychology and specialist on team psychology. And the reason I invited him to create the Build for Earth acceleration program with us is that I really wanted this factor to be included. Psychological safety, which is a result of the Google research on what makes a team excel, succeed. What is the most important factor? Google wanted to find this out, so they launched research a couple of years back about this, and they concluded that there were 10 very important factors. I'm not gonna, they're all in this book.
Yeah.
But the most important one was or is psychological safety in the team. No matter what the task for the team is to perform, what makes them succeed at what they do is that they have psychological safety. And what we mean by that is trusting each other and being able to come up with all of it, say your crazy ideas, because you won't get the really innovative ideas and if you don't trust your team members. So knowing this and being a psychologist, I was like, we have to incorporate this and not just have, of course, the basic things, business planning and financing and storytelling and how to create your website and so forth. We needed this too. So Christopher did the research and created Build for Earth according to this. So parallel with all of the workshops from our guest lecturers who are experts in finance and business planning and so forth, there's also workshops and individual sessions, both with the team leaders, but the team itself, focusing on how to create psychological safety in the teams. So that because it's all easy in the beginning. Right? When you have a new solutions and all the teams are, they're happy and we're going to take over the world. And you don't want to take that away from them. I think it's wonderful to talk to them, this energy, once they have just won the hackathon. But I know that there will be challenges and disconnect along the way. And when there is a conflict, how do they have we want to equip them with the tools to handle that then. And the way to do that is to create this feeling of psychological safety and that we can talk about difficult things and come up with a solution. Because that is one of the things that make startups fail or teams fail, is that you disagree, you waste your money on the wrong things, or you disagree on what road you're going to take. And this is eventually going to happen because it's no easy thing to make a solution come to life on the market. It's really a bumpy road.
It's like a big challenge.
Definitely worth it, but you're going to encounter difficulties. And then you need the tools to be able to work on it.
So the acceleration program is taking the winning solution.
All of them
with the team, the teams, and in the different sessions. So they get coaching, they tools, a network. So in order to transform the idea to and implement it to a reality, like a product or a service, right?
Yes, that's the main focus goal of Build for Earth acceleration program, making the solution come to life and to launch on the market, to bring the solution out in the world and making it have impacts.
Because this is the main point of the hackathon. So
really, I'm proud to say several of the solutions that have come out of our hackathons that have gone through Build for Earth are on the market today.
Awesome.
So that's great.
Yeah.
We just finished actually the acceleration program.
How long is it?
It's 6 months.
Yeah.
And it's workshops and sessions every week. And we connect people from all around the world.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of course, digital meetings. And of course, there's challenges with that. Like in many countries in the world, it's not a given that you have access to internet and Wi-Fi. So we really have to work on, or electricity for that matter, is not always a given. So, but we worked around this, and we have found a really good way of working with this, learning from our experiences, definitely. So all of the ones who won the Hack for Earth at the COP28 in December, they just graduated, if you can say that, from Build for Earth. And actually, in the end of Build for Earth is also when they are given the prize money. Because we don't want to.
You don't
they've
give it
been
in the
eager
beginning.
to receive the prize money. And I just got word from them that they have received the prize money.
Oh, that's nice.
And they're so happy and so excited for them, because now they also have a great pitch. They had a pitch coach, Tracy Tolman, a great lady who has been working very closely with them. And they've also participated in Pitch for Earth, which is the pivotal, and like the examination, you could say, an event where they pitch their solution to our community of investors. So they were really nervous. I can
imagine. Yeah, I can imagine.
But they did really well. And actually, at Pitch for Earth, which is live streamed in May, they got 5 minutes. And since they got 2 minutes at the prize ceremony, that's like oceans of time. They were so happy. We get 5 minutes. Yes, 5 minutes. So everything is relative, right?
Exactly.
Now they were very happy for the 5 minutes. So but they did really well. So
this is like the third phase of...
yes, that's the third. So it's Dream, Hack, Build. And Build is the last one. Yes.
Yeah. And tell me, how was the idea of the book was born?
Yes, and this is really interesting. This book, it's amazing to hold it in my hand now. After so much work, it's been like a year of work. But actually, this is interesting because it was not my idea to write a book. The publishing company, Pact Publishing, which is a tech publisher, publishes tech books. They contacted me last year and said, we would like to write a book with you and your method. That seems super cool.
The hack for Earth.
Yes,
method.
Hack for Earth, the method. Could you write a book together with us about the Dream, Hack, Build method? And of course, this my first response was, okay, this sounds great, but I've never written a book before. Can you help me? And they said, yes, of course. We have a whole editorial team that will support you in this, and we will publish it and everything. I was like, sure. And again, I can't say no to that kind of opportunity. No. It was not in my plan then to write a book, but this is also something we do at Hack for Earth. When opportunity presents itself, you got to say yes. And go with the flow there.
Yeah, we surf with the waves. Huh?
Definitely. So it was too good an opportunity to say no to. So of course I said yes, but I must say I since I've never written a book before, I was not really prepared for how much hard work it was. I wouldn't say I thought it was going to be easy, but
not that hard.
That's not that hard. But I'm really proud it's here now, and I'm really proud of the result, and really proud of my co-authors, because one thing I said to the publisher was that I want my team with me as co-authors, because we have written this, we have created this method to drive citizen-driven innovation as a team. I could not have done this alone. We have been equally involved in creating this method for using hackathons as a tool to drive citizen-driven innovation, and then you have to be co-authors and responsible for writing a chapter. So you write which chapter?
It's also like you mentioned, find the manager who see the potential in you.
Yes.
And I really appreciate this, like in you as well, and that you push our limits. Like, okay, now you are going to be a co-author, and I was like, is she's like joking or is this a serious? But then, like, because we used to communicate on WhatsApp.
Yes.
So I thought like it's like a fun or a joke or something like this.
You did?
Yes, I did. And then I got like a very formal email, like from the publisher. Hello, Mustafa, welcome here with the co-author. I was like, oh no, this is serious.
She actually means I'm gonna write something.
And I was like, wait, okay, give me a second. I need to like understand what is happening here.
Yes.
So no, but I think it's also part of your leadership is that you invite the others also to be part of this, and not how to say you're not taking the honor and you say I did this alone and so on. Like you bring us as a team to the stage as well. I really appreciate this in you, Anne. But then we have to to write like a chapter from my side. It's chapter about like a community, and the mission of this book is to put our practice into a book, right?
Yes. So more organizations can use this method, this methodology, to create innovation, and using citizen-driven innovation to do that, and the hackathon. So because it's as we've been talking about here, it's just a great tool, and we just wanted to share this with the world, like because it's an amazing way to both drive innovation and also communicate your values and engage with your audience. You can do internal hackathons with your employees, or you can do external ones, but still it's just this amazing tool that's just waiting to be used and put to use. So that's why
And when we talk now about the hackathon, you mentioned like it's in collaboration with the COP. It's like it's big with the like participants from more than 150 countries.
Yes.
2,000 plus people, and so it's like a large scale. But at the same time, let's say if I'm in a small organization or a small team, can I implement the hackathon as a methodology to find a solution that I have, to find a solution to a challenge that I have? Or no, it should only be like this large scale of competition?
No, that's really why we started the Hack for Earth company, because I was getting a lot of inquiries from organizations all over the world. Could you please organize a hackathon for us, specifically for us, not this big flagship hackathon connected to the COP events? And the foundation, that's not within its reach or capabilities. So that's what the Hack for Earth company does, organizing hackathons as a service to organizations out there who want to use the Dream Hack Build methodology to drive their own innovation and find real solutions to challenges that they perceive within their organization. And these hackathons can be, of course, they can be really small. Like you can have a hackathon with only like 20 people, of course, within your organization, or even smaller. You can do it for a couple of hours or a few days. And of course, you can do the bigger ones, and you can decide. You can have them in person. I love the in-person hackathons. They're just amazing. I think it's awesome that we do these big hackathons and they have their place, and it's great. But to do in-person hackathons, it's just it's just the feeling when people are gathered in teams around the tables and working together. It's just great, and that any organization can do. There is no size limit up or down.
I can give an example because I work here at AFRI with the urban planning and design, and we actually implemented this methodology of hackathon. We had a challenge, like it's related to something to the design of cities, and then we brought together like 15 people. And we gave like these 8 hours and say, okay, how can we as a company contribute and solve the solution of this challenge? And then like people, we form like build teams and they create a solution, and then we implement it in an action plan in the company. So it was like this, like small scale of a hackathon. It's more
Definitely.
like it's not about the scale, it's about the methodology. Like first you collect data and opinion and perspective, and then form a challenge, then solution, and then implement the solution. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
And like, if you tell us like what is inside the book, like when I open and I read, what will I find?
The best part, I think, about this book
is... chapter. No,
yes, of course, is Mustafa's chapter. And after you've read Mustafa's chapter, you may want to read some of the others. But yeah, who knows? Maybe you just read his. No, but really, what's good about this book is that there's no prerequisite that you know what a hackathon is or have any other tech competence before reading it. So there's no need. Anybody can read it and have use for it. And but of course, it's the target group is CEOs and business leaders of big organizations who want to harness the power of citizen-driven innovation by using hackathons as a tool to find solutions to the challenges that most big organizations have. But of course, you can use it for a smaller organization as well. I definitely, there's something in here for everybody, I would say.
What are like the chapters inside, let's say, if we give our listeners a sneak?
It's really divided into first, why we hack.
Yeah, like the reason.
Why do we hack? And then it talks about redefining the hackathon tool, which is basically what we have done.
Yeah,
we've taken the hackathon tool and made it into something else that you can use for different purposes than it was originally intended for. And then it's about how you make citizen-driven innovation work for you and your organization, how you can harness that, how you can manifest your core values with citizen-driven innovation. And then there is about the Dream Hack Build method is described and how you can use it. And then there's an introduction to how to hack, like creating the perfect challenge for your hackathon, like we talked about, how to organize an impactful hackathon. That is the chapter written by hackathon manager Lova Dager. And then there's the communication and managing hacker teams and mentors, the wonderful chapter written by Mustafa Sharif. It's great. And then there's the partnership for success chapter on how to create a partner community. And I would really advise organizations who choose to do a hackathon to have invite partners to do that, because you will perceived as an industry leader, driving innovation within your field of expertise, and also communicating with your audience at the same time, and also creating engagement with your employees. So it's a great tool for that. And then, of course, there's and that chapter is written by Carolina Emanuelsson.
Shout out to her.
Yes, shout out to Carolina, who has been in charge of partnerships and creating very valuable partnerships and how you can do that, and all of her learnings is there. And then of course there's the last part, introduction to how to build, how to create an acceleration program within your organization that takes care of the solutions. And then there's a lot of examples from our hackathons, hackathon winners, and where they are today, and so forth. So this is really a book with a lot of concrete examples on how it's done, and also some concrete hackathons and winners. So it's really explanatory, and it's not very long.
No.
Like you can do this, and it's like 275 pages.
Yeah.
This you can do over the
So with
summer.
it's more like also like explaining about hackathon,
Yeah.
but also about like the Hack for Earth concept
Definitely.
methodology, like the dream, hack, build,
Exactly.
and also like with examples, with how you can do it,
Yeah.
also in your organization, no matter the scale or the challenge you want to solve.
So it's available on Amazon.
Yeah.
But also in other bookstores.
Awesome.
But Amazon.com, yeah, you can find this.
Yeah.
So
it's so cool to see like my name on the book here. Like it's what I never dreamed about, like having like co-writing and having my name on. It's so cool. Like I don't dare to open my chapter and read it, to be honest. Like,
haven't you read it now again,
like,
since it was published?
No, I just like I saw it, like just the title, and be like, no, I don't want to read it. Like it's so scary.
You know, the reviews are coming in now on Amazon.
Yeah.
So it's rave reviews about your chapter.
How is it like now you, or before I ask you about like now it's published, what was like the joyful moment of writing this book for you?
It was one thing we've done as a team is that we've been very much action focused, doing things, and learning, and as we went along, and not always putting into words on paper what we were doing, more just action, and that has been part of our success. I think the reason behind our success, that we have not really given much thought that all of a sudden we're interacting with really high-level organizations and people, and we're from this little small country, Sweden, and like really just normal people who just had this great idea and made it come to life. And that is I think one of the reasons that we've been successful. We have not really reflected so much, and that was one thing that the book has given me, at least, like a moment to reflect upon and put into words what we have done. And so it's really been a good way to gather all the knowledge that we have created during these years, and it feels great to be giving this
to share it,
to share this knowledge. And I'm just so curious to see what people out there will make of it. To hear people, we did a hackathon like this using the Dream Hack Build method, and
I think it's fantastic that it's now it's like a very well structured methodology.
Yes,
you can from this step to that step, and you can walk through all the entire like hackathon and implement it as well.
Yes.
But also like it's in a book that we share, and I would like give it access to people so they can also work on their own organizations or communities and so on. So it's not like it's just ours, and because like if we say that we want to achieve the SDGs alone, we cannot do that.
Definitely
but together, yes, we can do that. So that's why like what made me happy was a lot of hard work, like writing the chapters and trying to put it in a very clear way so everyone understand it. At the same time, while writing and feel, okay, this is like a heavy work, but remembering the mission is that like we share it with the entire world so they can also help to achieve the SDGs. So that's like I think the moments, the joyful moment of this,
definitely.
like remembering why we are doing this, why I'm putting my time writing, for what.
But it's I just again I'm so grateful to Pact for reaching out to me and said, hey, we want to write a book about this methodology, about your work, and the reason is that there's no one else in the world doing what we're doing. We have no direct competition globally.
That's cool.
When it comes to work, that's cool.
Yeah,
so
like
that's
you're
not
standing like alone and in these.
Yes, there are definitely hackathon organizers, but using hackathons with the Dream Hack Build methodology to create citizen-driven innovation, no one else is doing exactly the same thing, and that's I'm just so grateful that get to do this together with you and the rest of the team. So
thanks. Yeah. So Anne, you started Hack for Earth Foundation.
Yes.
Many global and local hackathons.
Yes.
With a huge number of people in the community, great partners. Now you have a great book as well. What is next? What is on your agenda? What's going to happen?
Yes. Okay. So first up this year is the Climate Week in New York in September. And there's a lot of focus on action because the Secretary General of the United Nations, Guterres, has launched at this year's Climate Week at the General Assembly shall be called Summit of the Future. And it's an event of a decade because we are not reaching the Sustainable Development Goals and Agenda 2030 in the time frame that we should be. So he has put a lot of focus on action, and that suits us perfectly. So that's why we're going to have a book launch event in New York for the Climate Week, end of September. So looking forward to that. And also there launching our upcoming global hackathon at the COP29 taking place in Baku, Azerbaijan, November 11th to 22nd. So we are actually still open for partner organizations for that hackathon. So please feel free to reach out to me about that. And after that, actually, there's next year in 2025, it's the next
expo.
Exactly, the next world exhibition taking place in Osaka in Japan. So Expo 2025 opening in, I think it's mid-April. And I'm right now planning for that as well.
Awesome.
So, and of course, there's that's not enough. There's another hackathon as well. No, with focus on health tech taking place in the Health Equity House at the World Economic Forum in January 2025. Wow. So that's another collaboration I'm really excited about. So there's a lot of things going on.
Now. No, I'm happy for you. It's escalating from the started and now this global hackathons and following the methodology. It's written in the book as well. So exciting.
Yes, they're really excited about that.
Yeah.
Yes.
And as you know, in this podcast, it's two parts. We talk about projects and what we work with. And the other part is about people behind the projects. It's more more about you and your journey. Because I believe, and also listeners listening to this, that we need to inspire each other as well in projects, best practices, but also as people. So how to say, can coach each other, can inspire each other, so we become a better version of ourselves.
Definitely.
Yeah. So I hope you're ready for part 2.
Shoot.
Yes.
Shoot.
So I love to start with you taking us back in time. Were you born and how were you as a child? And more about the little Anne.
You know, I'm a psychologist, right? This could take time. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. No. I was born here in Stockholm. And grew up outside Stockholm, Lidingö, small town outside. I'm an only child, so no siblings. There's a lot of time to think about things. No siblings disturbing me. But during growing up, there was one thing when people asked me when I was a little girl, I was 4 years old. What do you want to be when you grow up? I always said that I wanted to be a mailman.
Mailman?
Yes. And you know why?
Why? Tell me.
Because the mailman was connecting people from across the world. And when he came with the letters, he was giving good news and connecting people. This was at the time when I didn't understand the meaning of bills that came in the mail, but only that this bringer of a story
like
or
a letter
or communication with another person across the world or in another part of the country. And I've been thinking a lot about this now that I'm doing this. So because I think even though I'm not a mailman and I never became mailman, but really the essence of that connects to what I'm doing today and what I've done also working as a psychologist. Connecting people is what makes me tick, really. And so what really excites me about the hackathons that I organize is that it connects people. It's this platform that when I get this feedback from participants that, oh, I met this other person from Brazil who works with a completely different thing and we're still in contact with each other and it opened my world and then I understand. That really brings me a lot of joy.
Yeah.
So that has followed me. And I'm really, I try to, this is something I think you also have to work on as a human being. And that is to be curious.
Yeah.
I find that to be one of the most important parts of a skill. Yeah, you can call it skill or personality traits that you have to work on to keep that curiosity with you. And then when I say curiosity, I mean curiosity for other people.
Yeah.
Curiosity for new experience or learning new things. I would not be here if I wasn't curious about what can I take on, what are my limits, what can I do, what can I accomplish. So that is something that I used to write. So I wanted to be meme. I wanted to be a journalist. I didn't. So that little Anne would have probably been interested in writing. That would have made me happy to know if somebody told me. But other than that, I was when starting school. I remember my parents were afraid that I was not going to do well in life because I always ended up at the end of the line.
Okay.
And the reason I did that because I had no siblings at home, so I didn't know how to fend for myself, fight for myself. I was like, oh, what is everybody doing?
You just like follow.
So sometimes I think about, especially my mother. She's not alive anymore. She passed away a couple of years ago. That she should see me now. She would not have been afraid. She didn't need to be afraid that I wouldn't be able to fend for myself. But so it was that was a learning curve, and I was, I guess, in school kind of an annoying person. I asked a lot of questions. And didn't like to always follow the rules.
I can't see. Almost like 99% of fun still like
you can they say your personality is a lot. It's kind of the basic traits are
like still
no, they're decided kind of like when you're 7 or 8. I don't know if that's true, but I heard it somewhere. So maybe.
What made you study psychology?
There's no other topic that excites me more and that is more interesting than a human mind. Still, I think that even though I work with hackathons, but it's about connecting people. No, but why do people do what they do? And why do they think what they do? And why do they feel how they feel? That's the most important, exciting topic. Yes, I know, but it's really that's why I'm really still very curious about people. And to understand people when I meet new people, and if they wish to share with me their ideas about life and what they find important and why they do what they do. Really, it's so complex, and there's so many different
curiosity about how people think and do. And that's how you started to study psychology.
Yes, actually, I was an exchange student I went to the US. A lot of young people did that when I was
it's like high school, or
yes, high school, so I went to high school for a year in Virginia. And that was very enlightening. Really, it was very good for me to see another culture and learn about that the world is so much bigger than little Sweden. And you can choose what you want to study in high school in the US. So for this year, I could choose, and I had this one class left and I had to choose. So I had the choice was between interior design and psychology. I remember talking to my mother about this. What should I choose? And she said, I would go with psychology all days in the week. And I was like, so I chose that. But maybe if I had chosen interior design, I would be an interior designer now.
Yeah, right? Like working with us.
I would be here still being interviewed by you. That would have been interesting.
Yeah, but maybe like now we have
sliding doors, I would still be here. You wouldn't get rid of me, Mustafa. I would still be here. On a different topic though. No, but you know how a teacher can be so important for your career and your outlook on life. I had this amazing teacher called Mrs. Bailey in psychology in high school when I was 17. And that just impacted me for life. She was, like a great teacher. Great at opening the world.
Yeah.
And I was like, during her class, I remember we had to say at the end of that class, when it was ending that year, what do you want to be when you graduate school? And I was like, I'm going to be a psychologist. So I said that then. Because I really
fall in love with this subject.
Yes, I did. So for many years, all I wanted to do was psychotherapy, and I was very content with that.
Yeah. So
then something happened.
You came exactly hackathon. Then you came back and you start to study psychology directly.
Yeah.
Yes,
I finished high school in Sweden. Gymnasiet, as it's called, and then. I applied for the psychology program in the university.
Okay.
And
which university was it?
Umeå University in the north.
Yeah.
And the reason I ended up there because it was really difficult to get in because everybody wanted to be a psychologist. So it's still today very difficult. It's extremely popular.
Yeah.
I think it's second only to medicine, reading medicine.
Yeah.
Or maybe law.
Architecture also.
Yeah, of course, architecture. Of course. I should do a better background check.
But it's always popular, to be honest.
Imagine.
Yeah. So it was the same also back in the days.
I think so, yes. So, but I was lucky. I was accepted there and moved up there and studied there for a couple of years. And then I finished, it's 5 years to be a psychologist, and finished in Stockholm. And then I had to start working, and it was everybody wanted to work in Stockholm.
Yeah, it's also popular.
And so I didn't get a job there. I had to move to a small town called Norrköping.
Yeah, beautiful city.
Yes, very nice with trams.
Yeah,
and the water
canal.
Yeah, yes, very nice.
It's also like industrial character.
Yes,
yeah.
A lot of
factories and brick buildings.
Yes, definitely. So so that's where I started working as a psychologist, and really liked that, and moved down to south of Sweden where I live now, and continued working within psychiatry there. And
10 years.
Yes, 10 years.
Wow. So this was like your passion.
Oh yes, definitely. And the reason I didn't stay, I was kind of restless. I think I needed a challenge. There's a lot of people who become experts within their field. That doesn't suit me.
No,
because and it's good that there's all kinds of people, right?
Yeah,
I think it's great. We need experts,
of course.
But when I came to that point in my life where I was considered an expert in my field
after 10 years, yeah.
Of course, there are others who were better, but first in psychiatry, I was like, this is not challenging me. I'm not learning so much new. People are coming to me and asking me for advice, and of course that's very fulfilling, and I feel I'm doing, but it doesn't keep me on my toes. So that's why I started working at the Swedish government agency.
Yeah.
And working with organizational psychology and work psychology, and helping people find work. And being there is kind of like I also sought out other different types of work. And I think there was one shift that was important was I became a sectionschef, a boss.
Yeah, like a section manager.
Section manager.
Yeah, it's like it's managing from like 30 to 50 people.
Yeah. That's what I did at the local government agency for employment, Arbetsförmedlingen, in Kristianstad in south of Sweden. So that was really taking a step away from my psychology identity. And as a lot of people within working within like doctors or nurses or psychologists will tell you, it's such a big part of who you are. So
it's
taking
part of your
step,
identity.
It really becomes not just a work.
You didn't feel that it's not anymore, like, because you change. It's a shift in the career. And usually, as you mentioned, it's not only like it's almost in every industry that people stay there. It's part of their identity. They like what they do, and they're good in what they do. So they don't look to the other fields and change career and so on. You were not afraid of changing?
Of course, it felt like a challenge, but my desire to evolve was bigger than my fears. So of course, when you have come to that part of your career where you are seen as, you know what you're doing, people come to you for advice, and you're like seen as this source of, I don't know,
expert.
Knowledge. An expert. It also, it didn't challenge me. And so for me, it was more important to feel the challenge that I'm developing my skills and learning new things. So I remember when shifting to be a section manager, and also when I started working with Hackathon, it was the same feeling. Of course, it's scary. And the shift from when you go into that and you feel, okay, I don't know this. I don't understand how things are working here. I have to ask everybody, what is this? How does this work? How is this done? Of course, it's not a very, we people, we like to know what you're doing, and I feel like we're in power and have control. So I had to let go of that control. It wasn't always very nice feeling, but the feeling of learning something new,
much more rewarding,
was so much rewarding. So I felt like I just have to endure this. After a while, I will learn. And really walking into the hackathon world and becoming working with hackathons as a project manager for Hack for Sweden was daunting, because I was really entering tech world. I knew nothing about tech, absolutely nothing. And but the funny thing was that I also realized that this is my arena. I have found my place where I should evolve, and where I can do something good. I really believe that I'm in the right place. As a section manager, I was not in the right place. God, no. It was really not the best place for me for several reasons, but there's a lot of administration, and what I had in my head was, I want to be a leader and
with
help
people,
help this group of people achieve things, to be their supportive force that helps them on their way to doing their work. And there was very little of that. It was a lot of work in the administrative, system, saying boring. Yes and no. And I was like, this was not at all what I had in mind when I signed up for this. So, of course, there's lots of great section managers, but that was not the job for me.
Not for you, because like in the end, we are different, and what makes you happy maybe not will be the same for another person, because like we have different taste and experience in life, and like characters and so on.
That's also one thing that I look for when I want to work with new people. Like, again, as I said, like this willingness to take on new like ideas and adapt new ideas. But also there's another thing that I didn't mention before, this capability of solving problems without asking